Well, you may not recognize that haired fellow on the screen here. That's me back in 1986. I mean, I started doing this work back in probably actually the late 70s. Yeah. And there I was on C SPAN. I was on C SPAN, must have been a dozen times or so, when I was selling books, trying to teach people about the money and help that's available from the government. I'm still doing it. I'm doing it cheaper now than I've ever been before, and that's because of the technology. But I want you to listen to this for a few. It's only about a minute or two, so you don't have to put up with the same tacky jokes. Really, I hear jokes I've been saying since 1986. That's strange. But more importantly, it hasn't changed. And it becomes more important now than ever before. This is way pre-internet days. And see, I got an MBA in computer science back in the 70s. I had a software company, so I'm very aware about that stuff, and I always have been. But now, what I see the internet is doing is helping me help you better to get help from the government. All these programs. See, I used to use it for Fortune 500 companies, and they don't even need it. They're living well. Now, half of our country can't afford a meal practically. They can't afford a bill practically. So I want to make sure that everybody in America sees this. But more importantly, I tell you about how you can't trust so much of the internet. And now the government, sure, we're all untrustworthy in some reports, but particularly if people getting money from you, that's that's the least of trust you should have. People who do things for a higher cause are going to more their life is involved in helping you instead of just getting money out of your pocket. And we're so good at that in America, getting money out of your pocket. That's why you have to learn how to use these sources, whether you use me or not. I mean, Let's Go Help is where we help you personally. It's only $20, but I have a free service. So if you can't even afford the $20, go to letsgofreehelp.com. There's 37 videos. We'll teach you step by step through almost anything you want, whether it's starting a business or getting money to solve a credit problem, a debt problem, getting fixing your house, or getting education and job training, all that kind of stuff, or even healthcare. Now, this is what this is about. See, besides getting money, you could use the government in a way that gets better expertise than anybody else in America. Why? Because they spend billions of dollars studying this stuff, and they don't sell you anything. Anybody else on the internet giving you information and expertise, they got something to sell you. So you got to worry about their motive. So watch this.
Down a few more things, because health information, there's more in the government than anywhere else. And the reason I don't know if you mentioned earlier, maybe it was before, I did a baby book with my wife. It's called the Maternity Source Book. And the reason I did that book, I'm 43 years old. I just started having a family, and I thought I'd never have kids. And my wife, who was very athletic, when we got pregnant, we went to the doctor, said, how long could we play tennis? And the doctor said, well, you should quit after 6 months. So we went to another doctor and asked them, and they said, well, you should quit after 4 months. So I said, well, let's check somebody else. So we checked somebody else. They said after 8 months. So I was getting a clue that no one really knew. So we went up to NIH and found out the latest research that was available on exercise and pregnancy. And we found out the only scientific evidence that was ever done was a study conducted on pregnant sheep up in upstate Washington somewhere. And that was the only thing. Other than that, everybody was guessing. But they wouldn't tell you they were guessing. So that's what we did, a health book with all the information right here in Washington.
Thanks for your call, Billy. We go back to the West Coast to Beaumont, California. Beaumont, you're on the air.
Hi, Mr. Lesko?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to find out, if possible, if there is a government agency